Welcome to our latest video, where we dive into where Kamala Harris stands on 10 key issues shaping today's political landscape. From healthcare and climate change to economic policies and social justice, we'll break down her positions and what they mean for the future. If you're looking to understand the nuances of her policy stance and how they might impact you, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Where Kamala Harris stands on 10 key issues. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to our channel. 1. Healthcare. Kamala Harris has consistently advocated for expanding access to healthcare throughout her career. As a senator, she co-sponsored the Medicare for All Act, which aims to provide universal health coverage through a single-payer system. Her position is rooted in the belief that healthcare is a fundamental right and should be accessible to all Americans, regardless of their income. Under the Biden administration, Harris supports strengthening the Affordable Care Act, ACA, and expanding its provisions. This includes increasing subsidies to make health insurance more affordable and working to lower prescription drug prices. 2. Climate change. Kamala Harris views climate change as an urgent crisis requiring bold action. She advocates for transitioning to clean energy, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and investing in green technologies. Harris supports the Biden administration's goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2050 and rejoining the Paris Agreement, which aims to limit global temperature rise. Harris has endorsed the Green New Deal, a sweeping proposal to address climate change and economic inequality simultaneously. The Green New Deal includes investments in renewable energy, infrastructure improvements, and job creation in green industries. 3. Economic policy. Kamala Harris' economic policies center on promoting economic equality and creating opportunities for all Americans. She supports increasing the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, arguing that this will help lift millions of workers out of poverty and ensure fair compensation for their labor. Harris also emphasizes the importance of investing in education and workforce development to support economic growth. Her proposals include expanding access to affordable childcare, supporting small businesses, and providing relief to those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. 4. Criminal justice reform. Criminal justice reform is a key issue for Kamala Harris, who has a background as a prosecutor. She supports reforms aimed at reducing mass incarceration, eliminating racial disparities, and enhancing police accountability. Harris has advocated for the use of body cameras, independent investigations into police misconduct, and increased transparency within law enforcement agencies. Her reform agenda includes measures to address sentencing disparities, particularly for nonviolent offenses. Harris supports the decriminalization of certain drug offenses and the implementation of diversion programs that provide alternatives to incarceration. 5. Education. Kamala Harris is a strong proponent of improving the education system and ensuring that all students have access to quality education. She supports increasing funding for public schools, particularly those in underserved areas, and investing in teacher salaries and resources. Harris advocates for making higher education more affordable by reducing student loan debt and increasing access to financial aid. Her proposals include expanding the Pell Grant program, supporting tuition-free community college, and addressing the student loan crisis through comprehensive forgiveness programs. 6. Immigration. Kamala Harris' immigration policy focuses on creating a fair and humane system that upholds the rights of immigrants while ensuring national security. She supports comprehensive immigration reform that includes a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, protection for DACA recipients, and measures to improve border security. Harris advocates for addressing the root causes of migration, such as violence and economic instability in home countries. Her approach includes investing in foreign aid and supporting development programs in Central America. 7. Gun control. Kamala Harris is a strong advocate for gun control measures aimed at reducing gun violence and enhancing public safety. She supports expanding background checks for all gun purchases, including private sales and transfers, and closing loopholes that allow individuals to bypass background checks. Harris also advocates for banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, which she believes contribute to the severity of gun violence. Her policy proposals include implementing red flag laws that enable law enforcement to temporarily remove firearms from individuals deemed a threat to themselves or others. 8. Voting rights. Protecting and expanding voting rights is a central focus for Kamala Harris. She supports efforts to combat voter suppression and ensure that every eligible voter has access to the ballot box. Harris advocates for restoring the Voting Rights Act, which provides protections against discriminatory voting practices. Her proposals include expanding early voting, making Election Day a federal holiday, and ensuring that all voters have access to absentee ballots. 9. Housing. Kamala Harris' housing policy aims to address affordability and access issues in the housing market. She supports increasing the availability of affordable housing through investments in public housing and incentives for developers to build low-income units. Harris advocates for policies that protect renters, such as extending eviction moratoriums and providing rental assistance to those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. 10. Foreign policy. Kamala Harris's foreign policy approach emphasizes strengthening alliances, promoting human rights, and addressing global challenges through diplomacy. She supports a strong U.S. presence in international organizations and alliances, such as NATO and the United Nations. Harris advocates for a foreign policy that prioritizes human rights and democratic values, including taking a firm stance against authoritarian regimes and supporting efforts to combat global injustices. Thanks for watching our overview of where Kamala Harris stands on 10 key issues. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into important political topics. We love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below with your views or questions. Stay tuned for more updates and in-depth analysis on the issues that matter to you.